Hello and welcome to GuySuCo Roundup. I'm your host, Curtis. Grinding for the first crop is progressing with factories at Iflot, Blairmont and Albion targeting some 4,000 tons of sugar this week. Former employees of the Rosal area who have expressed interest in coconut, citrus and cattle farming have benefited from training. Life in the flood-affected areas of Region 3 is returning to normalcy following the destruction of the seawall.
From the very land that gave sugar around the world the name Demerara comes the finest quality of cane sugar, Demerara Gold. Enjoy the real thing from the original source, the rich, fertile Demerara coastline where sugarcane has been harvested since the mid-17th century. The result is here for you to enjoy. Wherever this unique sugar flavor is needed, Demerara Gold is the ingredient that will always create a stir.
Georgiana Bola stands ready with an update on events occurring.
Thank you, Curtis. Hello, everyone. GuySuCo's Blairmont estate is positioned to facilitate a shipment of packaged sugar to St. Lucia. The 21-ton quantity is the first for the year to Massey Stores Limited, while Suriname, Antigua, the Cayman Islands, and St. Martin will receive Demerara sugars in both bagged and packaged forms. Sugar production for the first crop continues, with the 3 factories working towards the achievement of more than 4,000 tons of sugar.
Plan should go as simple as possible, workable plan. You could organize an implementation of plan. And you follow up. Very important aspect of our work arrangement. You plan and you organize, you set up. But the implementation, people got to go on the floor and start work. And you follow up work program and work progress. Right? Now all employees must be sensitized with regards to the Occupational Health and Safety Act. You must know the rules and regulations. You must know also as it relates to respective areas of work. As I mentioned, the sub-departmental manager are directly responsible. All employees must receive training relative to their job. Regular refresher must be held. We should not see any one of us as anything else. We are all human beings. Our country is blessed with diversity, with 6 different ethnicity background, right? And a lot of culture come with it. A lot of good things come with it. And in anything good in life, diversity is important. Even nature out there, if you look out in the window, you don't see one set of plant. You see different plants, right? And there's reason why the Almighty created things in diversity, right? If all of us was of the same height and we look alike, a little massive confusion. Massive confusion. So you think about it, but you need to understand these things among the other acts that we have that is governing and is good for your education so that you could deal with these issues.
A lot of the workers are in agriculture. The opportunities around this Blaymont Bath community is mainly agriculture. So what you find, a lot of the workers who would have worked there over the years, their children and their grandchildren have actually taken up the man to follow in their foreparents and their parents' footsteps. What we have is a dedicated group of people at Blaymont. They've always been supportive and they're proud of their estate. The workers, despite all these challenges we're faced with, they have the understanding that we need to work together to get out of this situation that we're in. It will not come by overnight, and we're trying to work together with the community. The community is largely dependent on how successful or how we produce at Blaymont, and that is seen especially during the outer crop period when we have the factory is not grinding. So the community is closely knit in terms of being with sugar, and we support them because they are the people who support us.
I want to encourage that we turn out to work and that we do all that is necessary to put Blaymont back on the top. We cannot wait until we are sinking to try and save ourselves. We can't. And therefore, our attendance is what is important. We have to do things differently.
So by 2019, we should be coming close to production of 40,000 tons of sugar. What is that telling us? It is telling us basically that as a team, as a committed team, this player, both coming from Wales and IFLOT, and the IFLOT team working towards achieving 40,000 tons of sugar. It is one that definitely will not be coming home that easy. We will have to be stretching ourselves to achieve the target we set ourselves. We have to ensure that planning, organizing, and execution of whatever we would have planned need to be of paramount importance and to the point. Here it is, I know among us are those people who will take us through.
As the corporation progresses in its partnership with the European Union, former employees who responded to an assessment undertaken in the year 2017 to determine the best model for transitioning into independent, self-sufficient farming, they participated in training in the areas of coconut and citrus farming, as well as livestock. The process began with the identification of personnel drawn from the Guyana Livestock and Development Agency, the National Agricultural Research and Extension Institute, the New Guyana Marketing Corporation, and GuySuCo. These persons were identified to participate in a series of training sessions conducted by the international firm NIRAS.
This project is the farming project, but it falls under a larger umbrella, which is the Alternative Livelihood Program. And that program, as you're aware, it seeks to train ex-employees in just about all areas of interest, so that you can continue. This farmers project falls under the economic aspect because it seeks to ensure that you have financial viability.
Here today, we'll be looking at coconut. It's to widen your, or give you an understanding to see if this coconut production is something that you may consider to enter into. So what I'm going to share with you today are market information. And from that market information that you will receive, you will then determine whether or not there's an opportunity to get into coconut production in Guyana. I'd like to mention that coming soon is Precision Global, right? They are a foreign company that would have constructed a facility here to process coconut, right? They're looking to process from shell to the nut to the everything they're looking to utilize to the coconut.
Planting coconut palm. First step, we dig the hole, get the layout right for us, which is in a straight line. For the double head system, what we do is we put the drain in the middle of the 20 feet spacing, right? Which allows the plant to get water, and it also drains the land. For the space between for driving access and weed control, the space is 30 feet apart, which allows for better use of machines in the farm, and it also gives you space to do intercropping. Now, planting a plant, what we do, the first thing we establish our hole, we use organic matter, which is, you could use the same coconut husk, you could use manure, animal manure, and a whole host of other things. We put it at the bottom of the hole, mix it with the soil, and then the plant itself, we put it in the hole, but the direction of the plant is we put it against the wind.
The training wasn't bad. It was something that we can, new idea that we can, see that GuySuCo, we can turn, we could change, we could turn to, for livelihood. Yeah, but we need a little finance, so little finance until so we could start the business, in terms like if you want with the coconut.
I know that you can do intercropping with you do the coconut and then you do the livestock. Would you consider that as an option?
Yes, I would. If we get the support in terms like the finance and the land.
In the West Demerara region, where some parts were devastated as a result of high tides and destruction to sections of the seawall, the corporation, through the IFLOT location, partnered with the Civil Defense Commission and other agencies to bring relief to residents' plights. Management of the estate in turn expressed gratitude to employees, some of whom, despite being affected, readily availed themselves to make preparations and provision through safety and offering health care.
It's morely that seeing that it's in the village, the estate area, and it's the center is right here, the health center is right here, the community center is right here, serving as serving for the community. Chairman region had a discussion with the estate manager, and he had surely agreed that okay, there's no problem, and try to render the service for them. From Saturday, we had provided a shelter for about 50 persons came to the shelter, and we also provide meals, right? We do the preparation. Our kitchen staff from iFoot Estate does the preparation for these meals, 3 meals per day, and with the help of donors. First, I want to say thanks to the estate manager in terms of coming on board with iFoot in terms of this initiative, the kitchen staff, the medical staff who work around the clock to get everything in shape, everything up to date, without any much hiccup. I must say thanks to them.
I'm an ambulance driver. I'm working since 1987 with GuySuCo, and I enjoy working with them. And I respect my job. I like the job I am doing. I like take care of the vehicle, keep it clean, and ensure me always be on the best ability to serve. Anybody sick, always is there to assist. Take them to the doctor, ensure them get attention. Before I leave, I ensure I put them in place. Oh, the estate manager give full contribution toward this exercise of the flood to see things in place. He come himself and check with here too to see what's going on.
I'm the medics at Wales Primary Health Care Center. I was asked to volunteer to assist my colleagues over here. If I can remember, in the 70s, we had something like this, and but it was not as bad as it is now. We had one in 2005 also. People were displaced, but it was not as bad as it. I've never seen, the tide that I've seen, I've never ever in my life seen tide water so high, almost covering houses. It was a terrible sight, terrible for anyone to look at and imagine. So, because of all of that, they decided that to make shelter for those people. And the community center was used. And so GuySuCo, they put the inputs through. And so they decided to open the primary health care 24 hours. And we work in a shift system. I am doing the morning, 7 to 8 p.m. And Dr. Swami, he is working from 8 in the night to 7 in the morning. I went into the community of Stoutville, and people were displaced, yes, but it wasn't, like they were taking it on that much. Yes, I've lost my place, but what do I do? That's what they're saying. What do we do now? So I was able to talk with them, helping them to, as old people say, they come to face reality. Because it's not that somebody broke your house down or the NDC break down your house because you're there. No, it was a natural disaster that nobody had control over. If they're cleaning, children must not be around, because a little before now, a guy came in where a door fell on his foot. So we sent him to the hospital. So we advise that children must not be around. Children must not be playing in the dirty water, because the overtapping has left water on the land. So children must not be playing in the water. They must boil the water before they give the children. They must even boil it before they bathe the children. They were advised that, they must not have the children picking up things and putting it into their mouth, especially babies. They need to keep the babies away. They need to protect the babies. And they must always use bleach. We advertised that they had a lot of bleach was given to them. So we advertise that they continue, because what I've seen wouldn't take a one day. Yes, you would get rid of the mud, but what is left there? So we advise that they continue to use bleach, they continue to boil the water, they must make sure that they have clean water when they're washing the vegetable, and so on.
Let's congratulate the GuySuCo Training Center on their recent success at this year's volleyball extravaganza. The center also represented our country in Suriname, competing against secondary schools at cricket, football, and volleyball. Training Center Manager GuySuCo also informed that more than 100 youths of the East Berbice area are being prepared for technical competence through the runoff of the 7th evening program. Among programs offered are basic fitting and machining, refrigeration and air conditioning, welding, motor vehicular repairs, electrical installation, and supervisory management. The training began in February and runs for 6 months. Logbook inspections continue on estates, and apprentices have already begun to prepare to master components of the practical examinations set for June. And that's a look at current affairs in sugar.
From the very land that gave sugar around the world the name Demerara comes the finest quality of cane sugar, Demerara Gold. Enjoy the real thing from the original source, the rich, fertile Demerara coastline where sugarcane has been harvested since the mid-17th century. The result is here for you to enjoy. Wherever this unique sugar flavor is needed, Demerara Gold is the ingredient that will always create a stir.
As we close this week's program, we recognize the contributions of the women in and closely associated with the sugar industry. Be encouraged.
Constant pain, oh, that woman, but her hip, she got me with, and it's too hard to resist, that woman, she'll put a smile upon your face, and take you to the highest place, so don't you
This has been GuySuCo Roundup. Thank you for staying tuned and do join us again next week. I'm your host, GuySuCo. Goodbye.